Because it's ours.
Hey! Got to pay back. Revenge.
Welcome to the Kas Show. I'm your host, Harry Cassell. Joining with me on a very special episode is Jamaal. Say something to the people, Mal.
Jamaal Corley. Hope all is well out there. Hope all is well.
I didn't have an episode last week. I feel like having a podcast right after the Super Bowl. There's nothing I could say, right? Nick Foles is good. Right? Nick Foles is good. We all know that.
No, there is one more thing we can say.
Super Bowl MVP. I think he's good.
Malcolm Butler, not anywhere on the field but special teams. Belichick backfired. It backfired on Belichick.
Can we talk about how petty that is? Like, he was like, Malcolm Butler, I'll only let you play special teams. And then he played the whole game without punting. That's petty. That's petty.
Pretty petty.
Malcolm Butler apparently didn't play because I think he was smoking weed and he showed up high to an event.
Rumor.
And all I want to say is, as a Dolphins fan, come here. Come. Miami, there's weed. You can show up high to everything.
Let's keep it a PG-13.
We're going to talk about stuff that they're not talking about on every other podcast. That's what makes us special. I want to talk about how Jamaal didn't turn his phone off. I want to talk about how the Jazz won 10 in a row, led by my Rookie of the Year pick, Donovan Mitchell. And I also want to talk about how after calling out Jamaal for not turning off his phone beeps like 3 more times.
Let's get to this Donovan Mitchell. First of all, before Harry goes into his debacle, Ben Simmons clearly the Rookie of the Year.
Mitchell.
This guy will let it be known that you shouldn't even consider Ben Simmons a rookie, but I'll let him continue.
First of all, Donovan Mitchell's averaging 20 points. They won 10 in a row, as I've said.
How many triple-doubles does he have?
He's leading the squad. It doesn't matter. That's also a made-up stat. Like, I don't like the whole triple... Because if there's something out there, like, you're going to...
10 assists, and you either get 10 rebounds or 10 steals or 10 blocks, that's not worthy?
Simmons had a year in the league to get situated to the NBA lifestyle, and that's not fair for players like Donovan Mitchell. Like, last year, you could listen to a year ago on the podcast, and I'm going to be hyping... Malcolm Brogdon over Embiid, because I don't think that if you have a year off, you still get to do all of the other NBA stuff. You get to travel with the team, get used to the traveling, the eating, the working out, the conditioning, and just because like that one aspect is the game, like you got redshirted. Like I'm not gonna reward you Rookie of the Year because you got redshirted. Then you get 2 advantages. You're not Rookie of the Year because you're not a rookie.
Do you think the Warriors have an advantage when Steve Kerr doesn't coach?
I think that I could coach that squad. Real talk.
I doubt it.
A lot of people said that they let David West and a couple of the other players coach, and they were all just calling plays, and they were saying it was disrespectful. They were saying the Suns should be disrespected. You know what would disrespect me if I was the Suns? Losing by 45 points. That would really disrespect me. Do you have anything you want to add to this?
I mean, I just really feel like that was a great idea. I don't know why more coaches don't try it out. I'm not saying let them coach a week in a row. He let them coach a home game, and he felt confident that they can handle the business that they did.
All right, besides that, the Cavs pulled off a bunch of moves at the trade deadline, trading for players like George Hill, Rodney Hood, Jordan Clarkson, and Larry Nance Jr. Their squad got about 5 years younger in this trade, and they look good.
They look younger.
There's a bunch of players out there that want to play with LeBron. And that's not saying that older players don't want to play with LeBron, but they're kind of tired of LeBron. You know, you got a bunch of young-eyed players that, like Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson is going to give it 110% for LeBron. And Channing Frye might not. Channing Frye might be like, I'm going to give 60 tonight.
I mean, I think Nance is what just is under the radar about that trade. Nance brings a lot of energy. Crowder wasn't coming in there and giving them that guy that can get those clutch offensive rebounds and those second chance points that in 2 games Nance has already did. We already knew we were going to get out of Hill and Hood. Those veterans, they come to play every time. But the true
also shout out to Donovan Mitchell, just making Hood expendable. That was dope.
The true X factor in all of that has got to be Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson?
Gotta be.
Jordan Clarkson heated. He was dating a Kardashian like 3 weeks ago, and now he's in Cleveland, Ohio.
with a chance to win a ring. He had no
Ha.
chance. He had no
Did he just
chance.
got traded to the Warriors? Did Warriors just move to Ohio? Is that what just happened?
That new Cavs team, man, you seen what they've done against Boston and the Thunder, and you seen what they did prior to not having those pieces in those matchups before. Blown out both times. Now they've gone on the road and beat two quality playoff teams. Don't sleep if the Cavs get Kevin Love back and that team does what they did last year, which is start the first 2 rounds of the playoffs off sweeping.
Yeah, but the East is no good. You could say that about anything.
The East is better than the West.
False.
East is better than the West.
The Jazz won 10 in a row and are still not in the playoff picture. You have teams like the Trailblazers. Denver looks really good with
the
Jokic.
number 6 seed. 7th seed.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They're fighting for a playoff spot, and like the East is weak. The East's second best team is the Celtics, whose number 2 is on crutches, and that's all I'm saying.
The East's second best team is the Toronto Raptors. Technically, they're ranked number 1 right now.
Yeah, dog, that happens every year. Every year around this time, LeBron doesn't play defense, and people tell me how good Toronto is every single year, and then 2 months later, I'm like,
Listen. Calling it right now, Toronto's going to force Cleveland into 7 games for the Eastern Conference Finals. But you know the result, ladies and gentlemen. Bron's going to another final.
There are Olympics on. You guys know about this? The Olympics? The Olympics have been cool this year. There's an openly gay figure skater. That's so cool. Eric Radford won for the Canadians and for the LGBT. He raised a rainbow flag, and he's becoming the first openly gay Winter Olympian to take home a gold medal. And that's so cool. Shout out to Eric Radford. Yeah. We need a sound button for that.
Well, in other news, Kim Kardashian loves pineapple on pizza.
Khloe Kim is an Olympian, just won a snowboarding event, and loves pineapple pizza. Thank you for not paying attention to anything I've spoken before the 7 minutes of the podcast. Thank you all for listening, more than Jamaal, hopefully. If you like the show, subscribe to us. Go to that Twitter page, Kas Podcast, at KASPODCAST. If you have any questions, you can add us and play us out, Jamaal.
If you want to go on Twitter and take off one time, you know where to reach me at. Dallas, Jamaal. We don't need to get into what the Dallas is for. I don't plan on ever going to Dallas anytime soon. But that's where you can follow me, and that's where you can see this podcast. And check us out next week. We'll be delivering a lot more topics, not just about sports. We're going to get a little bit of rap news updated next time. You won't want to miss that.
I need some get back. Payback. Payback.
He's rubbing ones against each other. It's the audio medium. You know about that, right?